I woke up to the sound of chewing, not quiet chewing like a person eating softly, but loud and wet, teeth tearing into meat, the kind of sound that makes your stomach turn before you even open your eyes. It was coming from Mama's hut. I lay there, frozen, unsure if I was still dreaming, but then I heard it again. Chewing, slurping, a deep hum of satisfaction, like someone enjoying a feast. My heart pounded in my chest as I got up and crept toward the hut, careful not to make a sound. The moonlight spilled through the small cracks in the wall. That's when I saw her. Mama was crouched on the ground, her back to me, her shoulders rising and falling as she tore into something in her hands. Her hair was wild, and her nails, longer than I remembered, dug into the bloody mess in front of her. I wanted to call out to her, but my voice caught in my throat. The smell hit me then, a thick, coppery scent. My stomach turned. I stepped closer, and my foot crunched on something brittle. Mama's head snapped around so fast I almost screamed. Her face was covered in blood, her mouth twisted into something between a grin and a snarl. "You shouldn't be here, Coffee," she said, her voice low and guttural, like it didn't belong to her. I wanted to run, but my legs felt like they were buried in the ground. My eyes darted to what she was holding, and my whole body went cold. It was Kwaku, my baby brother, or what was left of him. His tiny arm hung limp in her hand, the rest of him gone. "Go back to bed," she said, licking her lips. "You didn't see anything." But I had seen it. I couldn't unsee it. I stumbled backward, shaking my head. She moved so fast I didn't even see her coming. One moment she was crouched on the floor, and the next she was standing in front of me, her blood-stained hands on my shoulders. "You love your mama, don't you?" she whispered, her breath warm against my face. It smelled like meat gone bad. "You won't tell, will you?" I couldn't answer. Tears streamed down my face as I stared at her, at the woman who raised me, sang to me, held me when I was scared. This wasn't her. This couldn't be her. "I'll take care of everything," she said, her voice soft now, almost sweet. "Go to bed, Coffee." She pushed me gently toward the door, but I couldn't move. My feet were rooted to the ground. Her face twisted in anger. "Go!" she snapped, and I ran, tripping over my own feet as I bolted out of the hut. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't sleep for many nights after that. Mama acted normal the next day, as if nothing had happened. She smiled, cooked breakfast, and hummed the same songs she always did. But Kwaku was gone, and no one spoke of him. When I asked where he was, she said he had wandered into the forest and been taken by wild dogs. But I knew the truth. That night I stayed awake, listening, and again I heard it. The chewing, the slurping. This time I didn't go to the hut. I couldn't. I stayed in my corner, curled into a ball, trying to block out the sounds. The village began to notice the disappearances. First, it was Kwaku. Then it was my cousin Ajoa. Then Amma, the little girl who lived next door. Mama always had an excuse. "Children wander off," she would say, shaking her head sadly. "The forest is no place for them." But I knew better. I had seen the truth. And every night I lay awake, wondering if I would be next. One day I couldn't take it anymore. I told the village elder, an old man with a face like carved wood. He listened quietly as I told him everything. About the chewing, the blood, the disappearances. When I was done, he sat back and closed his eyes. "Your mother," he said finally, is not your mother anymore. What do you mean? I whispered. She is a witch, he said. The kind that feeds on her own blood. She has been cursed, or perhaps she chose this path. Either way, she is no longer human. I didn't want to believe him, but deep down I knew it was true. He told me to stay away from her, to leave the village if I could. She will not stop, he said. Not until there is nothing left. That night, I packed what little I had and ran. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't look back. I ran until my legs gave out and I collapsed in the middle of the forest. I don't know how long I've been running. The village is far behind me now, but sometimes I still hear her. Late at night, when the world is quiet, I hear the chewing, and I wonder if she's coming for me next.